attempts to fill the void. An unfamiliar path with a pulse of its own.
3, 2, 1.
Final Encounter Cast. Interesting conflicts, not conflicts of interest.
Typical corporate bullshit.
With your hosts, Nate, Robbie, Chris, Nika, and Callie. FinalEncounterCast.com.
Ready? Get set? Go!
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Final Encounter Cast. Glad to have you along. Twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. We do this show starting at 1 p.m., although I guess it's been closer to like 1:15 last couple of weeks.
Although, to be fair, this is Nika's fault.
Always Nika's fault.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you have to say for yourself, Nika?
She's not here today, of course, and she didn't let us know that until like 13 minutes ago when we were waiting for her.
Or like
that's not true.
A week and 13 minutes ago.
That's not true at all. We've known for a while. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. We've got a show for you guys.
Well, kinda.
There's been a lot going on in the world of gaming, but
we don't want to talk about it.
We want to hear from you. We're kind of phoning it in on this one, to be honest, because it's like right before the holidays, and this show is going to be going away, and it's going to be the Let's Be Real podcast eventually. And so, like, for these last like 10 episodes, we're like,
You guys program for us.
Yeah, so we want to hear from you. We want to get your calls.
Yeah.
810-207-1764, Final Encountercast on Skype. And this will be fun because we're really running on a skeleton crew today. It's just
skeleton, really?
I mean, 2 skeletons.
Okay. All right.
And a fat skeleton.
What is a fat skeleton?
He's big boned, okay?
Looks like Sans. Man, I made an Undertale joke and Callie's not here to like back me up on it. It's so sad.
Someone in the chat saying no drop game, or will there be a drop game? Here's how the drop game works now. You have to donate and then pick a number, and that's the drop game.
Well, the drop game is about to get really hard because one of the things that we're going to be doing that we've actually already kind of done is we've made some studio upgrades.
Oh, new drop program,
and we're gonna have new radio software running here within the next week.
Nice.
So if you want to play the drop game, then you gotta donate quickly, I suppose.
Get it in now.
Yeah, get it in now. So,
but let's not play that game because it's hard and it makes me think.
Because Juxta's going to be, or Chris, Fat Princess, whatever you want to call him, is going to be managing a lot today because we don't have Kooky. Kooky's actually out at PlayStation Experience this weekend.
Being a professional.
I know. Isn't that
Kook?
Yeah.
Way more than what we can do. #Failing Podcast.
Okay, well, first of all, it's not our fault that they send us the invite, like Friday?
No, it was like Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Wednesday night.
The day before, though, basically.
Yeah, and it starts on Friday. So it's like, thanks, Sony.
It's like they're taking their cues from Square Enix. Just if you don't want them to come, but you want to seem like you're cool dudes, invite them like literally the day before.
Yeah,
they live in Michigan.
Super last minute. Yeah, they're not going to be able to. They're not going to show up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Joke's on you. We got someone out there.
That's right. Anyway, so real quick before we move on, we've said that this show is going to eventually become the Let's Be Real podcast. Been working on some logos. Do you guys want to see like the first prototype logo?
Yeah, let's see the logo.
All right, I'm going to put it on screen. It's going to start off really big.
Hear the logo? Is that what you said?
No,
what he said.
What I said?
It sounded like you said, "Let's hear the logo."
Did I say that?
Yeah,
I know I burped.
I don't know if he. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I said that.
I don't know if he did or not.
Well, anyway, there it is.
There it is.
It's pretty cool looking.
Oh, it's
we're
growing and shrinking.
We're actually gonna leave it right here because that space seems really empty without a fourth camera.
I'm still partial to the old Pokeball logo.
The old Pokeball logo. It's such a weird. I mean, like you actually see you see all of the different logos that we've had on this screen right now.
So cool.
Actually,
every time we get a new logo, just put it up there. Don't take down the old.
So let us know what you think of the new logo. It's a bit of an homage both to the Limit Break Radio logo as well as the old Final Encountercast logo with the fist.
It's an amalgamation.
I don't think you say that word right.
No? How do I say it for me?
It's a mammalgation.
Amalgamation?
Yeah.
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation?
I believe that's how it's said.
Okay.
I don't know for sure. I might be wrong.
You know what?
Nate, you are the epitome of a grammar Nazi.
You know
okay?
what? You're a dick because on the news this week, Callie actually put not a name, just a word like in phonetics. So thanks. And it's a
Just
word that I
one?
know, just one, erogenous.
Okay. All right.
What? What is going on?
Well, that's a weird word to
put in the news?
Yeah, kind of.
I guess.
Now I don't know what news story this would have gone with. Trying to think now.
Did you read through the news stories?
I mean, just skim them.
Yeah. There's a card game one. I'm upset.
Okay. Yeah, great. Anyway, so yeah, this will be eventually the Let's Be Real podcast. But I think we've decided to see it through to 100 episodes.
At least to 99.
Yeah, something like that.
Piss a lot of people off.
So we want to hear from you, though. Final Encountercast on Skype, 810-207-1764. Of course, the unique thing about this show is that we let you be a part of it and call in and talk about whatever you want to talk about.
You want to talk about the OWL, the Capcom Cup, the Game Awards,
PlayStation experience.
There you go, literally anything.
The Patreon
debacle.
Yeah.
My penis.
If nobody wants to talk about that.
No one wants to talk about your penis.
No.
I do.
Nobody.
Well, I know you do.
And I'm somebody.
Are you?
Aren't I?
Are you?
He's a few somebodies, actually.
By the way, I did want to make sure that I mentioned that this week over on the Checkpoint Radio podcast, we've got a awesome interview with David Hayter. Now, if you remember on this very program, episode number 4, I believe it was, we sat down with David Hayter to talk about the SAG-AFTRA strike, which at the time had just been authorized. And we had him back on, but we had him on for Checkpoint Radio to talk about the conclusion of that strike. So if you want to hear that 20-minute conversation, you can find that over at our website, checkpointradio.com. That's exclusively on the Checkpoint Radio podcast. So make sure you go and download that because it's a really great conversation. David was, and it seems like the 2 times that we've had him on the show, he's very generous with his time.
Oh, absolutely.
And very honest with his answers. So
you don't think that has anything to do with the fact that he was 45 minutes late both times?
I think it may have had something to do with it, but I mean,
he's a busy guy.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Napping and playing guitar.
To have the life of David Hayter, I swear to God.
Living the dream.
Honestly, if I was David Hayter, that's all I would do too.
Nap and play the guitar.
Yeah. Dude, nicest guy in the world.
He is.
I am convinced. But yeah, check out that conversation over at our website, checkpointradio.com. All right, I guess let's check out what's going on in the news.
I'm here to do the news tonight.
And that's the way the news goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to bring you important news.
Here's a story that's out of this world.
Nearly 30 years after the release of Mega Man 1, Capcom has announced that Mega Man 11 will be releasing in late 2018 for the Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and PC. The game will be leaving behind the traditional 8-bit sprites and going to a hand-drawn 2.5D art style. In addition, Capcom announced that Mega Man Legacy Collections 1 and 2 will be heading to the Switch.
That's, I guess, pretty cool.
When was the last Mega Man game?
Oh my God.
While ago?
I mean,
800 years ago?
What?
800 years ago.
10 was like... God, what was that? Was it at least 360?
Are we counting Mega Man X as a Mega Man game?
Is that 10?
If that's 10, I would say yes.
No, it's not. It's not 10.
Okay,
it's Mega
all
Man
right.
X.
No, because 10 we're talking about main series games here.
Right. I'm just making sure.
X is a spin-off, isn't it?
Technically, yeah.
Okay, all right. No one's talking about X then.
Okay, well,
No one's talking about X.
there's Mega Man 11.
When did 10 come out? Yes, we're talking about 11 right now.
When did
it's
10
coming
come
out. Oh, 10 came out in 2010.
Okay,
All right,
that
it's
makes
been
sense.
a while then.
Yeah, so it's
2010 and Mega Man.
and it was a huge throwback, and had that.
Was it beloved though? Because I feel like it's been a while since we've had a really good Mega Man.
Dude,
I mean, I'm sure it wasn't
I don't
bad.
remember. I remember Mega Man 9, and when Mega Man 9 came back, because it was a while since they had been back to the series.
Was that one any good?
It was hard. I mean, I had the demo for it. I couldn't get past the first level. That's a hard fucking game.
Jesus.
Mega Man Souls.
And I'm actually going to add on to this story here since it's talking about what's coming to the Switch, and Callie didn't put this anywhere else on here, but Bayonetta 1 and 2 announced for the Switch, as well as Bayonetta 3.
Yes, that announcement went down at the Game Awards.
Yep, there are a bunch of people.
I have to say, I was really surprised by the Game Awards this year. Like,
Pleasantly or
yes,
unhappily?
I have to. Yes, no, because we've given the Game Awards a lot of shit.
A lot of it.
Because I mean, what was it last year? Did we go through the entire presentation?
We
and just
did.
watch it?
We kind of riffed on it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember Jeff Keighley always like looking down at his feet when he was talking.
Yeah, looking at the floor.
Yeah. Making fun of the different presenters that they had because they had no charisma whatsoever.
He's gotten a lot better. Keeley.
I'm actually, because I was watching the OWL when you were watching the Game Awards, but because of a lot of the stuff that was coming out of it and a lot of the things that you had to say, I'm actually kind of excited to go home and watch through it myself. Normally, I just maybe go and look at the winners of the categories and watch some trailers, but I actually want to give it a fair go if you think that they actually upped their game.
Yeah, no, in terms of the show, they absolutely did. I can't say that their choice in musical guests was necessarily any better. Last year, I'm pretty sure that they had Run the Jewels because
It's going to be kind of hard to top that, isn't it?
Right. Well, because Run the Jewels was doing the Gears of War, which, by the way, if you want to hear, we actually sat down and talked to the guy who made that campaign and connection, a guy by the name of Chris Erb from a promo company called Triple Clicks. We talked to him for this week's episode of Checkpoint Radio, so you'll want to tune in on Wednesday over at twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio if you want to hear that, because it's a really interesting conversation.
Way more interesting than I gave him credit for going into it. Honestly, yeah, I actually think I might have bagged on it. It was on the stream when we were talking about David Hayter and Arnie Roth. I'm like, now we have to go to these other guys that aren't David Hayter and Arnie Roth. I really enjoyed that interview, though.
No, it's actually a really interesting conversation about the way that games are marketed and the way that
not just games, the way different games are marketed too.
Right? Yeah, because Triple Clicks is actually a really creative, forward-thinking promotional agency and doesn't do things like buy space on ad billboards,
Mrs. Freshley's.
Mrs. Freshley's campaigns, Domino's partnerships. They've actually thought a little bit more beyond that. And one of the things that he said that I absolutely loved and latched right onto was just make sure that it doesn't suck. You know what I mean? And it's yeah, pretty much.
It's a good rule to live by.
It
Don't
is.
suck.
It is. But anyway,
Callie would have issue with that.
But anyway, so, this year they had Phoenix play, which I don't know if you remember Phoenix. I was listening to Phoenix when I was living in Mount Pleasant.
Oh.
Yeah.
When was the last time they released anything?
I mean, they're a French band, but the last time that they were relevant was
you've said all you needed.
When I was living in Mount Pleasant.
You've said all you needed. I'm just going to go
and
ahead
they brought out Jason Schwartzman to introduce them, which was also really confusing.
What?
I love Jason Schwartzman, but I don't know does he play video games? I don't think he does. I don't know that he does.
I mean, maybe
it was just a strange. I don't know.
You don't need to play video games to announce a band, okay?
I mean, fair, but I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so it was at least as odd of a decision as Churches was the one year that we went through the Game Awards. Yeah.
Yep.
I love their chicken.
What?
Churches?
No, different.
Oh my gosh.
Churches.
Hey,
that'd be so cool if they would have like Ronald McDonald come out and announce a band for video game awards. I'd be totally into that.
Speaking of Mega Man, he'll be making an appearance early next year in Monster Hunter World. Yes, you heard that right. He's been announced as an NPC helper companion in the upcoming release, which comes out on January 26th.
Huh?
Why?
Yeah, this is very confusing.
Yeah.
All right, so I haven't played much Monster Hunter or World for that matter. So it's not like a big technologically advanced.
No, it's not. This is actually the second crossover character that they've announced from Monster Hunter Worlds. The first being Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, which actually fits into both monster hunting and just the world they've created.
Right.
That's fair.
But yeah, there's not really technology, so
but there's also weapons based off of different bosses from Mega Man as well. That actually seems like a much cooler aspect of this crossover campaign.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they had the little Mega Man running around with you, I was like, yeah, no, I'd pass on
my
that.
immersion.
Yeah, I'd pass on that. Though I do have to say that Monster Hunter trailer got me actually fairly hyped to check it out. You know what I mean? Like, before I was like, okay, this seems kind of, all right, whatever.
It's a cool concept.
I guess. And I like Dragon's Dogma, which people tell me, like, oh, if you like Dragon's Dogma, you're definitely going to like Monster Hunter. All right. But the thing that got me was, like, where there was, like, 4 people running around and there were trebuchets and something gigantic. Like this gigantic monster that you were, I guess, ostensibly hunting. I guess that would be the point of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I was like, I want to do that. That looks fucking cool,
dude. Look, based on the fact that you like Dragon Dogma and based
Dragon's
Dogma.
Let's say it together.
Dragon's
Dogma.
Okay.
Not Dragon Dogmas.
Yes. And
dragging my dogma all over your face.
And based on how much you like Dark Souls, like the combat and you know how like precise you have to be,
yes.
I honestly think you will really like Monster Hunter, especially if we can get like some groups going, because you know you have to communicate with each other. It's not your typical hack and slash, and you have to be very precise, not just when you're fighting, but even in like item use and stuff like that. It's a very cool game.
Yeah, I think I actually might check it out. Like the fact that it's on PS4, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of different stuff that makes me want to check it out.
If me, you, Norris, and Nika and Callie like all agree to it, like it will be a day one purchase for me.
All right, that's fair. I mean, if you guys are in, I'm in. I'll do it. I'll do it.
What about you? Oh. You have a baby.
I don't got a PS4.
Oh, no. He bought a Switch. Who you playing the Switch with?
You, once the stupid Pokemon game comes out.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, okay.
But what about the stupid Pokemon game that just came out that you're not playing with us?
I mean, it's a re-release. I'm just not into it.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Fantasy Flight Interactive's first game will be an adaptation of their Lord of the Rings living card game. The base set will be free once the game exits early access, and additional packs will be purchasable. Unlike games like Hearthstone, players will know what cards are in the packs before they buy them.
Well, then what's the point?
Okay, so
we're going to need a resident card expert here to explain this to us.
Someone explain this.
Shut the hell up with the resident card expert.
I need someone to explain this.
Can someone call in and explain this to us, please?
Seriously.
Okay, so here's my theory: is that there's a card pack. There's
Why is he
only
talking?
one card pack, and you can see what's inside. If you don't like it, then maybe it'll like rotate out after like a few hours. Or maybe you can like reset the entire box after you've bought a couple of packs. Like the way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links does it is you have this set of box, like card packs, and there's like basically one of every card in that box.
Did he just say Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
Yeah,
he plays a Yu-Gi-Oh! card game.
I'm not that part doesn't surprise me. It's just why he's talking about it in public.
Like it's relevant.
Yeah.
Because it has card game referencing. You have to play many card games to understand everything, okay? Anyway, the point I was trying to make was that, let's say there's like a certain number of cards in each box, but the order you get them in is random. So if you get a card that you want early on, you can reset the box to try to get another card earlier. And I don't...
Okay, to simplify this, imagine that I hand you a deck of 52 playing cards. You know what's in it, right? As you draw them randomly. So let's say you want the ace of spades. Once you pull it, you know it's not in there anymore, so then you could reset it. So there's still an element of randomness to it, but you know what's available to pull. I don't know. The whole thing's really weird to me. It seems like they want to still rely on the idea of packs, but they don't want people to go after them for being predatory.
Right, basically.
Well, but I don't know. Like, I sort of feel like card games are the one place where that's justified.
Where it's okay?
Yes.
Where it's been done for decades?
Yes, where you're not... I mean, because, listen, people say the same thing about, like, video poker, right? Like, oh, the chances are rigged and stuff like that. And there might need to be a little bit of oversight on stuff like that eventually. But that is mimicking an aspect of collectible card games that has existed since collectible card games.
Right.
That to me is not the same issue as, what Battlefront 2.
Like loot boxes.
Exactly. I don't know. I think that that's different. And I think that, something like this just exemplifies that, right? Like, this seems stupid. This seems like on its face, this seems dumb,
yeah,
right?
It really... I don't understand the point they're trying to go with this. Like, it's... Like, why...
Well, look, I think that you're probably going to have to investigate this and update us when it finally comes out.
Yeah, because you're clearly going to play this, right?
I never played the physical
play.
I never played the physical card game of this Lord of the Rings, but I guess I could give this a try because it's digital.
Take one for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm never playing Gwent.
That's fair.
That's fine.
That's
no
fair.
one would ask you to.
It's like made of like Sweden or something.
No one would ask you to because it's never going to be relevant to anything.
Nope.
This would be a lot funnier if Nico was here.
Or if we knew she'd go back and listen to it again.
I know. Oh, that's definitely... why? Oh. Yeah, no, that's not happening.
That would require Nico to like do something outside of the showtime.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
The CWL Open in Dallas got off to about the worst start a tournament organizer could imagine. Barely 3 hours after the doors opened, the entire arena had to be evacuated due to a bomb threat. In addition to the called-in threat, a security guard spotted a backpack that he believed had dynamite in it. Play didn't resume that night, and the tournament had to be delayed until the following day. Fortunately, the threat was a hoax, and no one was hurt.
Fucking children.
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is exactly why we can't have nice things. What a fucking dick. What a dick.
I mean, yeah, but it happened to Call of Duty.
You know what that is. That's someone who got knocked out in the first round and was like, I'll show these motherfuckers.
No, this is a Halo fanboy.
No, I don't think that would be...
Well, hold on. What about CSGO? Because they're supposed to defuse bombs, right?
Well, that's why it happened at the Call of Duty one, because no one at the Call of Duties can defuse the bombs. They wouldn't try this at the CSGO tournament.
This is, it's just silly.
Terrible.
This is silly.
Yeah.
I mean, really, honestly.
It's a good thing it was a hoax and it wasn't real.
Yes.
No one get any dumb ideas now. Twitch streamer by the name of AJ Lester is making news after streaming the UFC 218 event last weekend over Twitch. He got away with it by pretending to play the stream while mashing buttons on the controller as the event went on.
Have you guys seen any of the video of this?
No, I keep looking for it, and everywhere I look, it's already been taken down.
Yeah, most places have nixed the video pretty quick. You can find screen caps of it, like you can see... exactly what he was doing, but he basically just took a screen cap of the stream,
right,
and then green screened himself in the corner.
This is
buttons.
So amazing.
It is the funniest fucking thing.
This whole idea should be its own little sub Twitch itself or something.
Dude, I just think that that's the funniest thing in the world.
It is. It's hilarious.
I think someone should take this concept and run with it, right? Except you'd need to do it in a way that is
legal,
right? So you'd have to use public domain stuff.
Yeah.
So go back and find some old silent films and make you're playing silent films. I mean, Cuphead's a thing. Come on now.
More than 6 years after Portal 2 launched, we finally have the next game in the series. Kinda. Head Up Games has announced their next game as a standalone spin-off to their Bridge Constructor series, and you guessed it, it's Bridge Constructor Portal. If you're excited to build bridges with GLaDOS' weird brand of humor, then you can look forward to it releasing on PC, iOS, and Android on December 20th.
Okay.
Yay.
Really, if this was anything other than Portal, I'd probably look at this really, really disdainfully, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
I mean, I like Portal.
Portal was fun. I hope there's a multiplayer version. If there is, Chris.
We got to play it.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
I don't know. This just seems like an odd, like...
Pairing?
Yes.
What about Portal wasn't odd?
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, this is sort of just like a wait-and-see type thing, though.
Yeah, like, think about it this way. Like, Portal, you had to go through the portals, but... in the Bridge Constructor Portal game, you could make a bridge and then go to the portal on the bridge. Like, think of all the possibilities. Or maybe after you're done with the portal, you make a bridge to get to the other side.
Okay.
Anyway,
I mean,
moving on. The Ethereum blockchain is a weird world. Cryptocurrency has given rise to boom or bust markets and perhaps none so bad as crypto kitties. The game allows people to buy and breed virtual kitties, and people have spent millions of dollars doing so. Theoretically, they can be resold so long as the market doesn't crash Beanie Baby style.
Hello, kitties.
how the fuck?
Who wants to touch this one?
That is...
Wait, are the kitties, like, hot?
They're
cats.
Okay, so they're not like anthropomorphic cats.
No!
Then I don't want to touch the kitties.
Oh my god.
Listen, I just think, dude, this whole cryptocurrency thing is gonna, like, that the bubble around it is gonna burst, and in a hurry. Like, that is gonna happen very quickly.
So sell all of your kitties now before it's too late and they're worth nothing.
Oh my god, they look like horrible palette swap Neopets.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And they're worth money.
Absolutely nobody wants to buy these.
Other people might buy them.
Here's the problem. I mean, like, you talk to people who actually, do shit like Bitcoin and stuff like that. Like, the problem is that it's actually harder to spend that kind of shit than you would think, right? Like, Steam just shut down accepting Bitcoin. Like, more and more, like, legit marketplaces are not accepting Bitcoin. So, like, I think that's going to be the biggest challenge right there.
I think the biggest way to, like, buy and sell Bitcoin is just, like, as, like, part of your stock portfolio. And then when you're done with your Bitcoins, you trade those in for actual real currency.
Or trade them in for real cats. How about that?
I mean, you could get
That's
a lot
of cats.
You could get a lot of cats.
So many fucking
Bitcoin.
cats.
Or you can get a few big cats, like, lions and tigers and stuff.
There you go.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Diversify your cat profile. That needs to be, I mean, if they're doing crypto kitties, that needs to be the way that,
man.
like, okay, yeah, it starts off like, but if you take 100 crypto kitties, you can buy a crypto liger. Like, that's going to be the shit right there.
And like 5 normal crypto kitties is worth the same as like a male calico crypto kitty.
So stupid.
You're dumb.
So stupid.
Bethesda made a $100,000 donation to the ESA Foundation this week to help foster diversity in game development. The donation is the largest in the foundation's history and is part of Bethesda's Save Player One campaign to help bring in the next generation of single-player game developers.
So, as a part of the Game Awards, Bethesda did this awesome video where they hired Linda Carter,
the original Wonder Woman. And
it was basically a big shot across EA's bow, where they were, because they've said a lot, they've thrown a lot of dirt on the idea that
they have.
single player games are even still relevant, and And so basically Bethesda has come out with a full-throated endorsement of, like, nah, bro, single-player games are still very much a thing.
Yeah, if you're familiar with the commercials that want to try and get you to, like, support the animal shelters and stuff, the Wings of an Angel, the super, super sad ones, adopt a pet, it's basically that, but for single players, like single-player games and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty hilarious.
It's pretty good, yeah.
I gotta say, Bethesda, we've recently, I think, kind of in general been given the gaming industry quite a bit of crap recently, because at least at some point or another, someone's got their fingers in a pot that we don't quite agree with as consumers, right? Bethesda's big one this past year was their Creators Club, right? But honestly, between the way that they marketed Wolfenstein and, this whole save player ones or whatever, I feel like they're a little bit more on our side than we give some companies credit for.
Well, yeah, but I mean they are definitely trying to profit off of the backs of their modding community. And the thing is that, they've had the forward thinking enough to be able to foster that community, and now they're trying to make it like, okay, well, how can we make some money off of that? And
just look at the Minecraft marketplace.
To be fair, though, is that, they're also trying to get some of their better creators paid. So in a roundabout way, it is trying to be kind of a positive thing, but at the same time, they really undercut themselves by trying to charge money for that on consoles that people can very much easily get that kind of stuff for free, get the same content for free on the PC side.
Yep.
So I mean, I think it was less predatory than it was just a bad business decision.
That's fair.
Bethesda's
Yeah,
part.
I can agree with that one.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week for Ubisoft, who had to delay multiple games. First, Far Cry 5 got pushed back a month from February 27th to March 27th. The Crew 2 will be pushed back from March 16th, 2018 to somewhere between April and September of that year. And lastly, another 2018 game, which hasn't been revealed yet, got pushed back to the fiscal year of 2019.
I'm legit disappointed about Far Cry 5.
I
really want to play that game, and it looks really good. And what we were shown at E3, what I was watching other people play at E3, I was really impressed by.
I mean, it is only another month, but man, what went down at Ubisoft?
Man.
Maybe they took a 2-week vacation.
They're not Square Enix.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that this is necessarily indicative of a problem, but I mean, I would honestly...
keep in mind that the South Park Fractured But Whole was also pushed back almost an entire 6 months. It was originally supposed to be out February of this year.
Right. Listen, I think that, Ubisoft is having a problem making deadlines, but if it makes the end product better, considering how many products they've put out that are buggy as shit, then, you know what? Kind of okay with it.
Two things to go by. A, make sure you're putting out a good product. And B, so long as you're not Kingdom Hearts 3, then I think you're good in most people's eyes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, when it takes 10 years,
Could always be worse.
That's true.
Medieval is coming back. The franchise, which hasn't had a game since 2005, will be getting a remaster for PS4 in 4K. In Sony's words, the first game in the series will be getting a proper PS4 grade resurrection.
This is actually pretty exciting because Medieval was one of those that, when I had first gotten a PlayStation, it was like Legacy of Kain, Medieval, what else? Final Fantasy VII,
Metal Gear.
Was one of those
Metal Gear
games.
Yeah. I mean, those were like among the first titles that I had bought for PlayStation, and I really liked Medieval, and I'm excited to see it come back, man.
Gosh, everything about it sounds so familiar, but I can't for the life of me picture this game.
Really?
Yeah. You're gonna have to bring something up for me here, because I actually specifically even remember having a conversation with my best friend in middle school about this game, but that's really like all that's sort of like popping up in my brain. I can't access those synapses. The connection's been severed.
There's
so many more pylons.
It's this guy with the skull face. You don't remember this game at all? It was one of those. It was one of those that was like the demo was distributed on so many PlayStation Magazine discs.
Okay, that could be. It could be that I just played like a small demo of it then and
Yeah.
never actually got my hand on the full game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? If you're excited about it, I think I'm a little hyped about it too. I mean, the one thing that people or that games have been doing well recently is re-releasing good games.
Yeah, that's true.
To their one credit.
Don't worry, that'll all end once Final Fantasy VII comes out.
That is also probably true.
The Game Awards proved to be an interesting watch, as we talked about earlier. Some of the highlights included an 8-minute Death Stranding trailer, a teaser for the new From Software game, Bayonetta 3, exclusive for the Switch, Soul Calibur 6 in the Valley of the Gods, following up Firewatch, and Fade to Silence. Now, Chris...
Is Firewatch the expansion to Overwatch?
No.
Oh.
You're the fucking worst.
Soul Calibur 6, though. But
I'm actually
back
excited.
in college, yeah, you used to play this all the time.
On the GameCube, I had the GameCube version so I could play as Link, and Link was so broken in that game.
So, are you excited for Soul Calibur 6?
Actually, yes.
Really?
Yeah, but
Did you see the trailer?
yeah, it's the one where Sophia is fighting Mitsurugi, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I
I
liked it.
have some concerns about the animation department.
Uh-oh.
That are over because, dude, some of those facial animations were weird.
Wait, were they Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite weird?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, like, and I'm talking like Uncanny Valley. The proportions seemed off.
Huh. I was looking at Sophia's boobs.
Yeah.
I
okay,
wasn't looking
alright.
at her face.
Her eyes seemed oddly spaced. Let me
Really?
put it that way. Yeah. I was very
I
distracted.
mean, I was watching it on a Facebook video, so it was like small, and I couldn't really get a good look at it.
Okay, I was definitely watching on my TV.
Gallon
Yeah.
CP said it's not finished yet, so that must not have
Well,
been
of course it's not
finalized.
finished yet, you dipshit.
Jesus.
What kind of fucking comment is that? It's not finished yet. Of course it's not. I just have concerns about the animation department. That's all.
I mean,
It was distracting.
Was it all of the animations or just the facials? Because
It was mostly the facials.
I mean, in actual combat, you don't really worry about what your face is looking
That's
like.
true.
You're 3D dodging and parrying and charging up your big flaming attack that's unblockable and destroys the other person. And then they get mad and throw the controller at you.
How many times did that happen?
Well, because I set up a combo into the flaming unblockable a lot.
Oh, okay.
Nobody really played with me too much.
No, I can tell.
Here's the problem or the issue that I have with you, Chris, is back in college you had specifically one friend who would come over and play with you. So
Which friend was that?
Art?
Oh, yeah.
I remember Art.
He
He
was
still owes us donuts,
He was the only
What a dick.
right?
I have him on my Facebook friends. I should tell him that he should
pretty sure that
bring us donuts.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
that you owe Nate donuts.
Yeah, where's our donuts? You said you would bring Timbits this week.
Yeah, in fact, you told me I'm going to buy him and eat all but one and leave just one for him.
The unfrosted one.
Where's my Timbit?
Yeah, that's in the car.
He's lying to you.
You got to go all the way down to the car to get it.
No, you've got to go all the way down to the car to get it.
Anyway, the point
You
I'm
know that
getting
there
at,
is a Tim Hortons right down the fucking road, right?
Is there?
Start walking.
Do they have the white hot chocolate?
I have no idea.
It's so good.
Anyway, the point is, who's going to play this game with you, Chris?
Huh?
Who's going to play this game with you? Art? You don't talk to Art no more.
You don't know that. I mean, granted, I don't, but you didn't know that.
Oh, come on.
You assumed that.
You have Ferris and you have your baby. That's it.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I have Sam, my brother-in-law.
All right,
He'll
fair.
play with me.
He's gonna try to play Soul Calibur against the baby.
Well, I mean, I'd win.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so it won't be very fun. I'd
Make
win
sure
every
you stream
time.
it. Stream it. All right. Now the big question, what everybody here is waiting for, Nate, the Death Stranding trailer.
The Death Stranding trailer.
Can you even summarize like that into anything?
Fuck
into
no.
anything?
How do you? Can you summarize an acid trip? Like, is it possible to like bottom line? You know,
I mean, when you tell someone, all right, went on an acid trip, they sort of have an idea, but I feel like even that isn't enough for the stuff that Kojima gives us.
no, it's not, because it's like eldritch horror mixed with fucking like
Babies.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there was a baby.
Babies. Yeah. No, there's definitely babies. That's for sure. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Right, like at the end of the trailer, I wanted to just be like, "What the fuck?" But that's not enough.
It brings, like, first of all, it brings together a lot of really awesome visual aspects. Like, I see, visual nods to actually a lot of Kojima's previous work, like Metal Gear. I see a lot of visual nods to things like Evangelion and a lot of like very post-apocalyptic sort of literature. There seems to be a little bit of El Topo, a little bit of Jodorowsky that's going on in that trailer. It's so hard to describe or even really have an inkling as to what is
any of it means
going on. Right.
I think the only thing that I'm concerned about now at this point, because obviously it looks fantastic, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, right? But the last time that I remember having this sort of, and obviously it's not on the Kojima level, but more of like just a normal level, but the last time that I had these sort of expectations was when we saw the trailers for The Evil Within 2, and then when we finally ended up seeing gameplay, it was like, nah,
yeah, but that's the way that it always is, though. Like, I have no idea what the gameplay for this could even be. You know what I mean?
All we know is that it's going to use, quote unquote, the rope.
What?
Didn't Kojima use a metaphor where he's
like a long fucking time ago?
Yeah.
That's weird that you would hold him to that statement.
Well, then there's
there's
the Italian restaurant metaphor if you want to use that one. That was more recent.
No. We need integrity in game development now, and we need to hold Kojima responsible for the rope comment. Okay, it's too many times on Kickstarters and stuff that promises get made and then promises get broken. No longer. I want to see the rope in Death Stranding.
The rope comment is because this game makes you hang yourself.
Well, if I can't hang myself in game with a rope, then I don't want to play.
Well, I mean, from that 8-minute trailer, guns seem pretty fucking useless.
It wasn't until the second or third time watching it that I realized that the one dude being pulled off aged super quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like in the first time I'm just like, oh yeah, there goes that old guy, and then the second time when he's like trying to pull him out, I'm like, wait, wasn't that an old dude?
Yeah,
every time you watch it, something else pops out at you.
I honest to God have no idea what the fuck this could.
It looks fantastic though. Norman, the detail on Norman Reedus, wow,
dude, it is one of the most spectacular looking pieces of game footage that I've ever seen.
And what was up with the baby doing the flip in the little thing?
I don't know.
And when he showed him in his esophagus, in his stomach, did he give us the finger guns? Is that what that was?
No, that was a thumbs up.
That's okay. That's not much better.
It's not much better. No.
So yeah, Death Stranding. Fucking weird.
Yeah. I mean, it makes me think less that it's a Metal Gear game.
Yeah. Oh, fancy that.
I mean, it still could be. But
it still could be.
That's the brilliant thing about Metal Gear is that even at the end of it, I'm like, that was crazy, but it still could be a Metal Gear game.
Yeah. Yep.
Every bit of my theory still holds up. So I don't know, man. I cannot wait for this game to come out.
Honestly, you know what? I hope that they never actually show any gameplay. Like, we just get weird-ass trailers like this, and then they just put the game out one day, and everyone just has to basically get it for themselves.
It's a puzzle fighter.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about a game that, we actually did see some gameplay of at PlayStation Experience. And I was actually, not surprised by it at all, but, I guess it confirms a lot of stuff. But, that question of, is a game a game? Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, because you've always been a little kind of on the fence about this one,
Well, because it's a David Cage game, and David Cage is certified. He's a certifiable madman.
Well, what has he done? That name sounds familiar.
He's done...
was it Heavy Rain?
Heavy Rain.
Yeah, okay.
He did Heavy Rain. He also did Indigo Prophecy.
And Fahrenheit something?
I think Indigo Prophecy and Fahrenheit are the same thing.
Oh, are they?
I think that's where the sentient version of the internet comes alive, and you have to Dragon Ball Z fight them above the city.
That's pretty cool.
No, it's not as cool as you think.
It's not like Matrix 3 cool.
No.
That's too bad.
It just kind of rips off. What do you call it?
Metal Gear.
Serial Experiments Lane. I think was kind of the genesis for that. Anyway, no, but we at PlayStation Experience we did get to see a playthrough of one of the scenarios in Detroit Become Human. And I was actually really impressed by what I saw. First of all, to see the Detroit city skyline kind of like fully rendered in the game, very cool. Very cool.
And accurate, I would assume.
There's the Ren-Sen that you can very clearly see. I mean, it's like a futuristic Ren-Sen.
Right, yeah, the small changes, sure.
And then there was also, what's the other?
The Ren-Sen is really all we have, guys.
There was, I think it's the Chrysler Center or something. I can't remember what that building is called. But yeah, it was very cool. Seeing that kind of stuff. And then essentially what it is a series of kind of like quick time events where you've got a countdown timer and it's dialogue tree options. There's not much more to it than that. But I do think that it is a very cool experiment in storytelling. And if there's one thing that, David Cage has been really good at, it's been storytelling. And this, what is cool is that, the outcomes are different. So, the scenarios are written differently for the different amounts of choices that you make. So there is a certain replayability factor to it. And I was just kind of very impressed with what I saw. And I mean, I don't know, dude, if Death Stranding became some sort of experiment in how games or the story in games are told or delivered, I think I'd be okay with that.
Well, and even if you look back at these past few years, a lot of the games that, people remember fondly or look back on and are really excited for, obviously, oh wow, and I'm completely blanking. The Ashley Birch with Chloe.
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Yeah, that was basically a storytelling type story.
Sure.
Oh, what was that one? It won an award last year. It was the chick who was in like an interrogation room. Remember
her story?
Her story. That's what it was. That was another one that got a lot of acclaim, and those are essentially just like interactive stories.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, are there any other titles that you want to forget?
Nope.
Okay. Just checking.
I bet there is. He just forgot them.
No, well, I would at least be able to
don't
describe the game to you.
Pow, pow, pow.
Stop doing that.
Finger guns.
Let's go to our phone lines and talk to Ryoko. Ryoku, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Not bad. Thanks for calling what will soon become the Let's Be Real podcast. What's going on, dude?
Not too much. This week was quite interesting in terms of announcements. Actually, Capcom decided to give us a gift instead of shit on Mega Man for the past few years.
That's true. I mean, Mega Man did seem to get a lot of love at between the Game Awards and the PlayStation Experience Conference. Are you a particular Mega Man fan, Ryoku?
Yeah, I've been playing Mega Man games since the original NES games that came out back in the 80s.
I mean, I played those too, but I was never good at them, and I still continue not to be very good at Mega Man games.
I had to use Game Gear in Mega Man 2 to get to the last boss.
No.
Did you?
Yeah.
Ryoku,
you're pathetic.
What do you think about them dropping the sprite-based graphics and going to a hand-drawn style?
I mean, it's like they've done it multiple times during the series with different games. It looks pretty good from what I saw in the trailer. I'm flexible between the two different styles, really.
I mean, it does
as long as it
does seem like, no. It does seem like they're adopting a little bit of that dare I say it, Mighty Number 9 aesthetic. I know, but it is, though. It looks actually kind of similar visually.
Well, and you know that unfortunately that is I think one of the challenges that a game like Sonic failed to do is
any of those semi-2D
exactly. You either have to find a way to evolve into something more, and obviously it never worked for Sonic, or you have to find a way to sort of keep yourself fresh. And I don't even necessarily know if Mega Man did it well based on the fact that, you know, it's been anywhere from 7 to 10 years between each installment.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that much about Mega Man.
Yeah, me either.
Mega Man expert? You want to chime in on this?
Yeah, well, the Mega Man series is actually a little bit convoluted in itself because actually all the games...
is it?
Yeah, because all the games like from Mega Man X, Zero, etc., they all actually in the same timeline, it's lore-wise.
At least there's not 3 separate timelines. Zelda.
I mean, are we really going to try to parse out Mega Man lore? I don't think that...
I don't really mind.
When does Mega Man Soccer fit into the canon? When was that introduced?
That's a fair question.
I love that game.
Well, but the thing is that, you know, the core franchise is stuck pretty much to the same model, kind of, you know, side-scrolly jump, shoot, sort of...
Die.
Yeah, die a lot.
There's lots of dying.
Lots of dying, yeah. And so I mean, like, it's interesting that they're going to be changing it up at least in some small way. But, you know, like, I couldn't help but notice a little bit of the irony going like, that looks a little bit like Mighty Number 9.
Let's show you how to do it
a little
right.
visually. That remains to be seen.
That's fair.
That remains to be seen.
It looks really good, though.
All right, Ryoku, what are some of the other announcements that you were really stoked on?
I'm actually looking forward to Bayonetta 3 because that actually motivated me to get a Switch sooner than I was originally planning to.
Yeah, the Bayonetta announcement got a lot of people really excited. Of course, for Bayonetta 1 and 2 to be remastered for the Switch.
I might actually pick those up and play them.
Have you never played Bayonetta?
I've never played any of them.
Really?
Yeah.
There's boobs.
I know there's boobs. I haven't even played on the Smash. Bayonetta's on Smash.
I know, but you've never even played around with the character?
I don't think I even bought that character.
Really?
That one or the last one.
She was like super OP though, wasn't she at first?
Yeah, she still is.
Oh wow, okay.
But yeah, no, I haven't I haven't even played in like years.
So and because let's be honest, this is what...
Let's be real.
This is where Nintendo is eventually going. When they remaster it for the Switch, like, you gonna jump back into playing it?
I'll probably buy it and so I can play it, but I don't know if I'm gonna jump back in as hard as I did when Smash 4 came out.
Really?
I mean, it's because if it's just like a remaster, then I've already, you know, kind of played.
Yeah,
the
but
game.
you're playing it on superior hardware, though.
Yeah, but is it gonna really play that much better?
What if they have
It
leaderboards?
probably should.
Oh,
Yeah,
it should, but
I mean, in comparison to the Wii U, yeah, that thing was a fucking networking clusterfuck.
Was playing Breath of the Wild last night, and like halfway through, like I hear like this sound, and I'm like, what keeps making that sound? And I realize it's the Wii U trying to process.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think that, you know, it's a good get for Nintendo. Weird how that has become like a Nintendo franchise.
Bayonetta?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it didn't start. It started like the first game came out on a variety of systems, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then the second one was Wii exclusive.
Yeah. Lots of big bags of money.
Yeah.
Well, that was because originally Sega was making Bayonetta 2, but then canceled it, and then later on Nintendo came in and said, "Hey, we'll give you the money, we'll publish it," and then that's how they got the rights to Bayonetta 2 and why it's always going to stay on a Nintendo product.
That's definitely interesting. Although I don't feel like Platinum Games would have had to shop that around to very many people to be able to find
if they really wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because, dude, anyone just sees the Platinum logo and they just start jizzing themselves.
Has a pretty good reputation.
That's putting it mildly.
I bet Nintendo added as part of that deal possible DLC inclusion for Smash, and that's what sold it for Bayonetta.
You know,
I mean, I don't know.
Because putting one of your characters in Smash, that's pretty good publicity right there.
Anyway, so Bayonetta 3 is in development, although they didn't really show off much about it. Nothing. I mean, there was just like a couple of had a logo and then a little bit of like transformation footage and then more of the logo, and now she's firing things out of her feet. And okay, all right, I get it. It's Bayonetta. All right, that's nice. Anything else, Ryoko, before we move on here?
No, that's pretty much it.
I mean, there were a lot of announcements. A surprising amount, because like PlayStation Experience kind of snuck up on us. We knew that the Game Awards were coming, but I
didn't expect announcements like this.
I to be honest, did not expect the Game Awards to put as much out there in terms of news as it did. There was one moment. Have you guys seen the moment that everyone's talking about from the Game Awards?
What's the moment?
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff they're talking about.
The guy who developed Brothers, who's working on a new game where you're basically two guys breaking out of prison. It's a co-op game.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing a little bit about this at E3.
His fucking like Tommy Wiseau like rant and like borderline meltdown that he had at the Game Awards. You guys didn't see this? Oh my god!
How did I miss this?
I'm so torn about this because we're going to talk about the Game Awards on this week's episode of Checkpoint. And I've actually pulled a couple of clips to be able to play.
Right.
And this is one of them, but it's probably it's the one that's getting the most discussion, and it's the longest one. It's like 3 minutes long.
Do you think this was real or a scripted thing?
Oh no, this is definitely real, because Jeff Keighley is just like
freaking out.
You can tell he's just like, get me the fuck out of here. And I kind of want to watch it. I kind of want to.
I kind of want to watch it too.
All right, we can watch it here, but. Because if it's the one thing, like if we're gonna cut one of the clips from our Checkpoint discussion, it would probably be this one.
Okay.
So I gotta pull it up now. But the guy's name is Joseph Fares, and I don't think like to be honest, he gets my vote for Tommy Wiseau of the game industry. Do you guys know who Tommy Wiseau is?
It's a name that's ringing a bell.
He's like an Italian guy.
You guys ever see the movie The Room?
Yes, a while ago though.
The main guy from The Room. You don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because okay, so you haven't seen The Room, because if you saw The Room, you'd know exactly what the fuck I was talking about.
I think I'm in another movie with a room in it.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
How many movies have rooms in it? Come on.
It's
no, like the title has something to do with like The Room or Panic Room or something.
It's not. It's known as the worst movie ever made.
Wait, even up next to Manos?
Oh yeah.
No
like, it's up there.
way.
Yeah.
Then I haven't seen that one. Okay.
I can't believe that you've never seen The Room. I've actually met Tommy Wiseau.
How was that?
I bought his underwear.
Huh.
What?
He sells underwear. Wiseau brand underwear.
Okay, not his he didn't take off his underwear and he's like, you want to buy these?
No.
Okay.
No, his branded underwear.
Context, please. Context.
All right, so let me find this.
Jesus,
let me just find this clip here.
Lloyd might have it.
Everyone in the chat though is saying that guy is so cringe. That guy is so great. He's my developer hero. Fuck the Oscars. What?
All right. I believe this is it. I don't know though.
Lloyd put a YouTube link in the chat.
Yeah, it's of The Room.
Oh, get out of here, Lloyd.
Lloyd, you idiot.
The fact that you've never seen The Room makes me
I'm
upset.
Sorry, man.
Hang on. I guess we'll pull up a clip of The Room first.
Okay.
I'm mad because this is going to make me do way more post work on the show than I
than you
really wanted to. Yeah.
We were supposed to be dialing it in, guys.
This is supposed to be a nice, easy show that no one has to think about. And now you're making me do all of this extra fucking...
Using his brain.
Producing and shit. Fucking ridiculous. All right. I gotta pull it up here on the old stream here.
So that they can see it.
No, that's not going to work. All right, let's do that. And then we'll get a window capture going on. It's like you guys have never vamped. It's like you guys have never vamped for anything.
I thought that you had upgraded the studio on this computer.
For other shows, not for those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So,
here we go. This is the room.
This is the room.
He's actually on a roof, though.
Her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny. What's up?
I have a problem with Lisa. She said that I hit her.
What?
Yep, never seen that.
How have you never seen The Room?
Well, first of all, had I started to watch that, I probably would have been like, nah, I'm gonna go watch something else.
I cannot believe that you've never seen The fucking Room. All right, so here's Joseph Fares from the Game Awards, and now I'm gonna have to
also get this one.
Spend time getting this on screen. So if you guys would, do a little bit of a better job vamping this time. And
he wants you to be a vampire. Go, best vampire impression.
I want to suck your room blood.
What?
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 Did you just try what? You tried to make it relevant to the last clip?
Yeah.
That was a stupid idea. That was terrible.
That was awful.
It didn't make any sense at all.
Why would you do that?
That was terrible, Robbie. I don't know why you would try to do that. That was a bad joke.
All right, so here's Joseph Fares from the Game Awards. This is great.
Astronauts for that announcement. Now I'm here with Joseph Fares from Hazelight. Joseph, you were.
He already looks like he's on something.
Game Awards back 2014.
Who know? I don't know if he was drunk or what, but
he's too happy already.
So how does it feel to be back at the Game Awards 4 years later?
Look at me, man. How do I look? It's like, I'm telling you this, okay. There are like passionate people, there are crazy people, and there is me. I'm so passionate to be here. I'm so excited to be and meeting this industry.
Yeah, he's on something.
It's crazy, man. Like, look, this
no, I just think he's the Tommy Wiseau of the game industry.
You don't think that being on something has anything to do with it, though?
No.
I'm telling you, this is the real shit. What is this?
Can you say the shit?
Can you say the shit on the Game Awards? Oh, okay.
Let me just give me a minute. I want to take your time. Look. Okay, can you swear here? Can you swear? Okay. Fuck the Oscars,
Oh, that's where that came from.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck the Oscars.
Fuck the Oscars. Okay.
This is bullshit. Look, here's the thing. The gaming industry.
I want to buy his games, though. I'll tell you that.
Because you used to have a lot of films, and now you're in games.
Yeah,
right?
I've done 6 features, but I don't care. But okay, we're here to talk about a way out. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's get into your game.
All
right, he's refocusing back onto the game now.
So Joseph, a way out. Co-op game. You showed it at E3.
Yeah.
People excited about it. You got a new clip of it tonight. What can you tell us about what we're going to see tonight?
What can I tell you?
Yeah.
My friend, I'm telling you. All right, this is what I can tell you. Look. This is insane. If the whole world tell me your game is shit, I'll tell them no, it's not. That's how much I
All right.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. Sure. I'm following the logic. Let's go, Joseph.
And you see what it is. It's impossible you don't like it.
Okay.
Impossible.
Make sure to play with a friend. That's not a run and gun split screen shooter.
And your friend can play with you
yeah,
for free,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
This is the thing.
Yeah.
And this is my idea. It doesn't have anything with the EA shit going on, with the loot box and stuff. No. Look. I'm going to say to you one thing.
Oh, my
I'm going to say to you one thing. EA has been very good to me.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, they're getting, because it's nice to hate EA, blah, blah. I don't care about that shit. What I'm saying is this.
Wow.
Publishers fuck up sometimes, That's how it is. They fuck up.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. Like, in this case, it's like they've been treating me very well. That's what I'm saying. I have 100% of the income to my team for the game I'm doing,
And it's coming soon, right?
Yeah, it's coming. I'm talking too long.
That's okay.
He knows. He's like, yeah, I know.
This is my time to shine, man. You know how proud I am to be able to see this.
Jeez. I know you did.
This is fun.
All right. Joseph Fares.
I love this.
Going forward, they're going to be like, guests need to be on script, everybody.
We're not going to be able to get to the game.
I will show you. I will
Watch Keely's face during this. Like, what? You can watch him be like, I need to figure out how to get the fuck out of it.
I think you should announce the date and we should show the trailer.
Let's look at the trailer. We can talk after.
No, we can't. This is
Wait. 1 second. Before we talk trailer. So, we have something that...
Look at his face, man. He's just like, God, this needs to end.
That's your face on Limit Break Radio when we have callers that are terrible.
Yeah, kind of.
You guys can't see it, though, but that's his face.
No.
want it to be.
All right.
Come to the point.
A way out. We gotta go. Here we go. A way out. Coming out.
We can talk afterwards? No, we can't.
No, we sure can. Oh,
wow.
God. Yeah, so that's the moment that everyone's talking about. And rightly so, because that is a fantastic moment, I
It's a pretty good interview. I want to play this game now.
What? A Way Out?
Is that the game?
That's the name of the game.
You know what?
It's called A Way Out, yeah.
We actually are going to play it on stream, Chris.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, it's specifically co-op.
What's it on?
I
think it's probably going to be on everything, maybe.
Computer?
I don't know. Where in that rambly 4-minute interview can you find where the fuck?
He didn't even give us a release date.
Nope.
Fuck EA.
No, he was defending EA. He was like, developers fuck up sometimes.
All the time in EA's case, but other ones just sometimes.
Consistently. That was a pretty fantastic moment.
Wow, yeah, I missed a hell of a show.
Awards. Yeah, you really did.
I know what I'm doing.
And for
tonight.
what? Overwatch League.
How was that, by the way?
So, honestly, it was really good. And I don't know if this is...
What made it so good, to be honest?
The biggest analogy I've been making recently is when you look at the leap in production and presentation from stuff like Apex or Contenders to the World Cup, there was a big difference between those two things, right? So you wouldn't have thought in just a month, less than a month that it was from the World Cup to the preseason that there would have been a lot more changes. But man, they have it down. It looks beautiful. That the Blizzard Arena in LA has like this huge giant LED backdrop. It looks freaking beautiful.
Yeah, the little bit that I've watched, the staging looks fantastic. The casters have been on point.
They're getting a lot better too with utilizing the tools such as replays and the top down that they're given. They've also been able to find sort of the ebbs and flows in the action to be able to show those mid game instead of waiting till the end and just giving you like a long string of them. It's so good. It's so good. I'm actually so excited to see how much more it develops, how much better they get, even just between preseason and the start of the season in January.
Yeah, well, I mean, where is it supposed to be broadcast? Because right now it's on MLG.
Yeah, and I actually didn't even realize that I 100% figured that it would have been on Twitch, but it wasn't until the day of that it turns out it was being brought to you by MLG, so it was on MLG as well as the OverwatchLeague.com. I assume that they are still going to broadcast some of it on Play Overwatch because part of the Players Summit, the agreement was that if you want to see more than two two OWL players at any one time, you can only do that on the Play Overwatch channel.
Right. Well, and I mean, I've got to think that, at least for the first season, that they're going to be trying to push this as hard as humanly possible.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then the other cool thing too is all the teams like I mean there are a few outliers like the Dragons are terrible, actually. Shanghai's team is terrible.
Really?
Yeah. But honestly, everyone else that I watched was pretty evenly matched. All the people that they expected to just completely dominate didn't. Obviously, Seoul still won both of their matches, but both, well, the one against Shanghai was terrible, but the one against the Outlaws, very, very close. So I don't think that we're going to get into the usual type of situation that we do in most esports where like the Koreans are completely dominating in one particular market.
Well, and that was something that I think Blizzard was trying to avoid, big time. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch these preseason matches and see how they continue on. We'll talk about that a lot more this week on Checkpoint Radio.
Yes, we will.
All right. So again, if you want to call Final Encountercast in these last 10 episodes of Final Encountercast. Final Encountercast on Skype, 810-207-1764, because, of course, this will eventually become the Let's Be Real podcast. And I mean, I don't know that a whole lot of the programming for the show will change. But, you know, we're kind of figuring that out right now. It's going to take a little bit of time to figure that out. So if you want to talk about any of the announcements that happened over this past week, or if you want to talk about maybe some of the Patreon changes, because that's something that I wanted to address before we move on. Yeah, before we move on and talk about Pokemon. Is that Patreon announced that they would be making changes to the way that it processes donations of $1 a month. I think that's most.
I think it's on all pledges. It takes like a percentage now.
It is on all pledges, but you see it the most drastic with $1.
Got you. Okay, right.
$1 a month pledges. And I think, at least the way that I understand it, is that this was done because of the amount of $1 pledges that Patreon was having to process. And there's a processing fee that comes along with it. And so it was not making sense for Patreon to be continuing to
pay that processing fee.
Exactly, right. And so now they've come up with this new calculation that has placed a lot of the burden on not the creators, which, you know, probably would have made us a lot more outraged, potentially. In fact, the email that I had gotten from Patreon was that, you're going to receive 95% now. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't even read the fucking email. I'll be honest with you. Okay, whatever. And then as I'm seeing people on Twitter talk about it, I'm seeing other creators talk about it, I'm seeing our own patrons talk about it, that this seems like it does place a lot of that burden on the actual end user. It places a lot of the cost on the end user. And so if you want to talk about that, I mean, I don't know that I've fully formed an opinion about it yet.
Because I can see the logic that's there. I
can see both sides of it. I can understand why someone giving at a low at a low amount just to be able to support an idea, like that's a lot of we have a lot of $1 patrons.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I mean?
We do.
And if that fell off, I'm sure that we would be able to be sustainable. But, we've had people suggest that maybe we abandon the platform, that we try to, encourage more PayPal and Twitch donations. And it's like, well, that would require us to stream a whole lot fucking more. You know what I mean? There's not a really good answer to this. And, the bulk of what I've said about it publicly and to Patreon over Twitter was that, why am I getting a whole bunch of people saying that I should abandon the platform? And kind of, remaining at least a little bit ignorant of what the problem is. So I thought that I would, give you guys an opportunity to call in and educate me on why this is such a big deal.
Yeah, teach us on our show.
That's right.
You guys get to be the host.
Finally, Countercast on Skype, 810-207-1764. We've got about 30 minutes left before we've got to hand it over to the Checkpoint podcast replay. And by the way, this week we sit down with the one, the only, the legendary David Hayter, voice of Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid franchise. He joined us, what was that? It must have been 86 episodes ago to talk about the SAG-AFTRA strike, and he joined us on Checkpoint to talk about the conclusion of that. So we will actually be airing that interview live here on the stream. So you're going to want to stick around. That's coming up today at 3 p.m. here on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. But yeah, let's, if you want to talk about the Patreon issue, I'm down to talk about it. I'm down to learn about it. I'm down to be educated by it. But I haven't had the time to kind of figure out what my own feelings are. And so I thought it would be an interesting experiment to let you guys sort of teach me, tell me why this is a problem, and convince me that it's a problem, and we'll back channel that to Patreon, because if we were to say, listen, we're going to walk from Patreon and not really explain or have an understanding of what's going on, I don't think that does anyone any good. It doesn't do us any good. It doesn't do Patreon any good. So let's get some understanding on this. Again, Final Encountercast on Skype, 810-207-1764. Be happy to take your calls, but let's talk about Pokemon, because this week saw some big additions to Pokemon Go, and I actually got wrapped up mostly with the main part of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. So I thought we'd double back onto that, since we talked about it for Checkpoint. What my thoughts now at the end of the campaign were. So, but let's start with Pokemon Go, because they've started adding Gen 3.
Yep.
Not all at once, mind you.
No, I mean, Gen 3 is pretty big. I mean, it itself was 200-something Pokemon.
Jesus, really?
Does that sound right, Chris?
What, Gen 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 200 or
Yeah.
Because it did replace all of Gen 1 and 2. The original Gen 3 games, you couldn't find a whole lot of Gen 1 and Gen 2 in there. I mean, there were certain... Right.
There's always Zubat.
Or Magikarp.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, there were a few, but this did seek to kind of...
I'm sorry, there's 135 Gen 3 Pokemon.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, I mean, that's...
Not even as much as the original.
I don't think any gen has as much as the original.
No, they never did over 150. I don't think so. I thought when they did Unova that they got pretty close to 150.
What gen is that? 4 or 5?
5.
5?
Yeah.
Well, because pretty early on there was talk that they would be adding
156. So barely. You got me.
See, I knew that there was one.
Half of those are legendaries.
He's not joking.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think the 6 above the 150 definitely were all legendaries.
Yeah.
No question.
But
how many legendaries existed in that gen? Because you had
there were so many.
There was Reshiram, Zekrom, and
there were more. At least 10.
Could you get Kyurem? I don't think you could get Kyurem until the second game. Until Black and White 2.
Oh, you could still get it.
You could get Kyurem?
Not like the special forms, but you could definitely get it.
Okay, all right. So there were those 3. Then there was the Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus. That was another. There's 6 right there. You had probably 2 mythics in that. What were the?
Hold on, I almost got it up.
Victini was one.
Yes, Victini.
Victini was one. What was the other one?
Was Shaman in that
Gen
one?
X?
Oh my God, I think you're right. I think it was Shaman. Fuck, I think you're right. It was Shaman. I think it was.
I think that was 4.
Hold on.
Really?
I think it was 4.
I think it was Shaman. Or was it It was Genesect.
Genesect. That's what I meant.
It was
Genesect.
That's what it was.
All right. Generation 5. You guys had the Swords of Justice, right?
Yes. Well, no,
we didn't even say that.
I didn't even get to those. Yeah, because you had. Oh fuck! You did. You had Calladio, fucking Verizon,
Coleon.
Yep, and the fucking
stupid piece of shit one.
The Terracon. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
God, there were so many fucking legendaries.
Forces of Nature. You did say those ones.
The genies.
The Tau Trio. You mentioned those.
Tau Trio.
That's the Kyurem and Zekrom.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
And
the Weather Trio.
Yeah.
Actually, that's it. Because then Generation 6 pops up.
Weather Trio was definitely Gen 5 though.
Yeah. That's the Forces of Nature.
Oh, okay.
Thundurus, and Landorus. Yeah, I think it was probably Generation 4 then that had the most, because that had the Gigases and all that in it.
Oh, you also had was Regigigas added in 5?
That was 4.
That was 4.
Yeah.
Positive. Are you sure?
I'm looking
Regigigas?
Yep. Regigigas was not part of the original Gigas trio.
Right.
And then the Gigas trio was Gen 3.
Oh, shit, you're right. Oh. So it was Gen 4 that Regigigas was a thing.
Yeah.
That's right. God damn, Pokemon.
You fuckers.
Right? So Gen 3 being added, which, by the way, I've gotten all 3 of my starters. I've got Torchic, Trico, and Mudkip.
Yep.
There's some legit I am excited to catch some of the new Gen 3.
Have you been able to find a confirmed list of the 50 that were added?
No.
There's like a bunch on Reddit.
I'm sure that there is. But another, I got a Ralts too.
That's cool. That's super cool. I've only gotten dumb ones. I got a Wurmple, a Zigzagoon, and a Roselia so far.
Oh, okay.
I did get 2 Ho-Ohs though, 100% capture rate.
Wow.
Nice.
Ho-Oh's really easy to hit. Like when you're spinning the ball.
Oh yeah, I'm sure his hitbox is massive.
Oh my god, when you're spinning the ball, the actual circle on the screen takes up almost everything.
Oh, I bet.
It's very hard to actually miss him.
I've actually not even seen a Ho-Oh raid up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you know that the raid timers now, at least for the legendaries, are only 45 minutes?
Really?
Yeah. Like if you're not there or close to when they pop, like you're probably gonna miss out.
Oh, wow. Crazy.
So the dynamic weather effects.
Yes, this is kind of the big quality of life change that they've made.
I once theorized about this and was subsequently shut down and made to feel like an idiot.
Totally. We poo-pooed that idea so hard. And that's the thing is that I've got to say, like, I'm so impressed. Niantic really impressed me here. This is a really inventive way to use API from like,
and like the
National Weather Service and stuff.
The perfect game for it, right? Like if there was any other franchise that you were to use this for, this is it.
So,
have you guys heard anything about this extreme weather conditions?
No.
There's a screen that'll pop up that says, oh god, I can't even find it, but like if there's extreme weather conditions, like it's so hot, it's so windy, or it's so cold, it'll pop up and saying like Pokemon are fleeing and they have taking cover from the adverse weather conditions.
You know why?
And I don't know if that's because, and if that when that happens, if you just can't play anymore. And I'm trying to actually look that up right now.
That is, I'll be interested to know because, and I'll be able to figure out because we get high wind warnings around here all the time.
I'm sure that we're gonna get severe snowstorm warning at some point or another.
Right. And what I think that is, when it's mild weather, this is supposed to encourage you to go outside. But if there's extreme weather, you can't. If there's
you shouldn't be going outside.
You should not. Exactly. Like, can you imagine? Like, hey, flood warning in your area, but look at that Gyarados that just popped. Like, people would drown themselves. The dumbest people would drown. You know what? Hang on.
Group of 10-year-olds freeze outside playing Pokemon Go.
Niantic, let's rethink this because this is Darwinism at work, and maybe we need this. Maybe we need a couple of the dumb ones to go out and drown themselves trying to catch, fucking
please don't
lantern or something.
Let's the podcast formerly known as Final Encountercast does not condone trying to trick people into killing themselves through Darwinism. What's cool about the weather, though, like, for example, it's cloudy right now, right? So some types have been, like, assigned to each weather. Obviously, ice, for example, when it comes to snow. But when certain weather is out, it makes it more likely that certain types will appear.
Not just ice, steel, too. Oh, man. I gotta tell you, the amount of Magnemite that I had when it was snowing the other day, it was unfucking believable.
Yeah, so right now, Fairy, Fighting, and Poison for cloudy type, and those are, stronger during the weather, but they also give more Stardust.
Clear at night is a rock bonus, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll find some Kabutos. I had 99 fucking Omanites.
It was the same way during there was a rock event that, remember when that was out, and it was all Omanites but never Kabutos.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm actually having fun with it. I think that the background animations that they put in are really...
Have you seen the snow one yet?
Yes.
Oh,
it's
looks
clever.
So cool.
It really does. It looks very good. And they've also... I've noticed that they've backed down some of the graphic fidelity and made it like first of all, I can sub-window Pokemon Go, so I can have like the Discord running below it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so you can, it now like stretches and shrinks a little bit more properly, and as a result, it loads way better.
And it keeps like you're right too, because now that I've been here the past week or so, I've noticed that there's a lot more Pokemon up at any one time. One of the things that you complained about, Chris, was this fact that when you get moving too fast, all the Pokemon despawn, they never respawn, right? I still get that sometimes, but it's not as often now, and I think just in general, I tend to see more things up around me at any one time. Have you been playing at all since these changes?
No.
Okay.
I've almost deleted the app.
You've almost deleted the app.
I was going to say I deleted the app, but then you'll be like, oh, show me the phone. And I'm like,
no,
oh,
actually,
it's still there.
I wouldn't have. So you probably could have got away with that.
Someone probably would.
Oh, well. Now, you have said before, and I the same thing happened to me during Gen 2. Are you going to stay out of it, or do you think us talking about it and doing things is going to make you want to get back into it again?
No, I think I'm just going to delete the app and just never play it again because I just don't find any enjoyment in playing the game anymore.
Oh, so that's too bad. I basically, because look, a few months ago, if they would introduce this stuff like with the gym battles, I probably wouldn't have cared and been like, this doesn't really add much to the game at all. But I've sort of embraced it more as a mobile game and less as how I play Pokemon. Mm-hmm. And it's basically just this thing that I do in my spare time, maybe once or twice a day. And it's become a lot more enjoyable that way.
Yeah.
I mean, every once in a while, me and the girlfriend will make like a day out if we're going to get a raid thing. But otherwise, it's absolutely just a thing you do in the background every once in a while.
Yeah, it's like... Dude, and I'm starting to realize that maybe I've had the wrong approach to certain games, like Pokemon Go. I mean, it was very compelling early on to have it open all the time and to
well, because that's how you play Pokemon,
right?
You dedicate your entire existence to it.
That's not. I don't think that has to be. I mean,
probably
just because
not.
That's the way that I did it.
We did it.
We did it.
I was up till 3 a.m. shiny breeding.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Did you?
I got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Shiny Litten.
How many hatches?
360.
Okay. I mean, I have.
It's not the worst.
How's your Porygon?
Let's not go there.
What are you at for Porygon?
I have no idea. I've lost count. I've got to be over 1,000 though. I'm at the point now where I only do 18 a day though. I just put in the Pokepelago and leave it.
Wow. Is your Pelago fully?
It is. Well, not on Ultra Sun and Moon. I haven't done the one where you can EV and XP train yet because I'm not to that point yet. Yeah. But yeah.
So all right. Well, I in terms of quality of life, also I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice that you can make parties now?
Yes, that's right. You can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is cool. You can have up to 5 different parties, which I think is a really good.
Because we got we showed up to one of the OHOs late and only had like 20 seconds left, and to just be able to swipe left and there's your party, it's so much easier than going through and trying to select everything.
Oh my God, right?
It's terrible.
So yeah, I think that some of those quality of life updates that they put in there are really awesome. I think
changing the charge attack into an actual button instead of doing the press to hold thing.
Yes,
that was a godsend.
Also, like I think that we've been kind of concerned about the way that Niantic might be continuing to develop Pokemon Go. As they move on to stuff like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That this weather update was one that took me by surprise. Now, granted, I'm not reading, the Sylph Road all the time anymore and stuff like that, but this really took me by surprise, and they added something that I thought was really inventive.
And impossible.
Do you think, though, that we might actually see abilities start to be added?
Ooh.
Swift Swim, or...
I think based on the way that they implemented Slocking, where it doesn't even have, or it has a quick attack move, but it does 0 damage to kind of circumvent its large CP boost by the shitty ability it had in the normal games. I think we're probably not going to see abilities in Pokemon Go.
Well, not in the same way, because obviously you can't adapt the abilities the same way that the game does. But I wouldn't be surprised if at least internally they're talking about how do we make abilities work in our game.
Yeah, some of the weather types actually are similar to some of the weather types in Pokemon that actually do affect abilities, right?
Right.
So if they're going that far, I think they might be laying the groundwork for adding abilities to Pokemon that you catch. And then that way, it makes it a little bit easier to understand how you could take a Pokemon from Go, bank it, and then put it into the game, right? There would be natural restrictions on it, much like there is transferring up a Gen 1 Pokemon to, Gen 7, right? Like,
did they say they're going to try to make Pokemon Go turn it into bankable Pokemon? Or is that
there's
just
code in the app. In some of those APK breakdowns, there is code that exists in the app itself that says, yes, that there is some sort of bank.
They're trying to do something like that.
I don't know if it's the Pokemon bank or if it's a Pokemon Go bank app.
Okay.
That's not clear.
That probably makes a lot more sense.
But it has led people to kind of go, well, what if you could take Pokemon that you caught in Pokemon Go and transfer them over? People, those that say that's stupid would be right if there would be no way to change IVs, right? So the stats, you've only got 3 IVs that you're concerned about in Pokemon Go, right? So if everything that you bring over is only a 3 IV Pokemon, and you've got bottle caps to be able to change the IV values, then that actually makes it kind of fair. Because it would be pointless if the only thing that you could ever bring over ever is 3 IV Pokemon with 2 abilities. But if you can bring over Pokemon with unique abilities or Pokemon with unique movesets, that you can then max out their IVs with a gold bottle cap, that makes it a little bit more compelling.
Not to mention, I wouldn't be surprised if, at the very least, if they don't do a whole full system where everything can be taken over, that they do some kind of cross promotion that gives you access to something special, like the Surf Pikachu or something.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I mean, imagine taking something that is unique to Pokemon Go. Let's say one of the
Santa Hat Pikachu,
a Santa Hat Pikachu, or one of the Witch Hat Pikachus, right? And transferring those over to the bank, and then suddenly you can play with them in the game. That would be actually kind of legit and kind of cool. I mean, if anyone could do it, if there was anyone who's like weird, quirky, and inventive enough to do it, it would be Pokemon. And it would actually be a justifiable reason of like, well, why don't they just put the normal battle system into Pokemon Go? Well, because then you would never play normal Pokemon.
Play normal Pokemon for the story.
Have the waves always been in the water?
The what?
There's like waves.
This is very important.
No. Those aren't waves. Those are wind trails.
Oh, from the cloudy weather?
I don't. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sorry. We'll go with that. When you're looking at them over the water, they definitely look like they were waves.
I mean, kind of, but yeah, no.
Okay.
So yeah, Ultra Sun and Moon is. I'm now towards the end. Robbie, where are you? I beat the Elite Four.
Yeah, I actually got this weird thing in my head once I had finished my Pokédex, where I'm like, I don't want to beat the Elite Four with one non-shiny, so that's why I started reading the Litten. But I just got the flute off Executor Island, and I'm going to play that to go into the Ultra Wormhole to save our boy Guzma.
Spoilers.
Yeah, so I'm not too far behind you.
Chris, how about you?
I'm way far behind you.
Why is that?
I'm still on the first island.
Why?
Yeah,
why aren't you playing?
Because I've been playing Overwatch and I've been playing Hearthstone.
What are you ranked in Overwatch?
Not very good.
He got them Moira chills.
Yeah, Moira. She's so fun.
He likes throwing her balls at people.
So many balls. It sprays all over the place.
Well, it's a little bit disappointing because, I mean, at least Robbie and I have kept kind of pace with one another.
Actually, I was ahead of you until just this weekend, really.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I pulled out phrasing.
God damn.
Pulled out ahead.
It doesn't help.
Here's the thing, though, is that I've had a really good time with Ultra Sun and Moon. I think it may be among one of my favorites. I don't know that it overtakes Black and White 2, because Black and White 2, for some reason, At the end of that game, shit was really clicking for me. I went and did the battle tower twice. Because you get a legit shiny out of it. For black 2, you get Gibble, and for white 2, you get Dratini.
Yeah. I'll say this. I do think that as a final product that, yes, Ultra Sun and Moon is probably some of the best work that the Pokemon company that Game Freak has ever done. However, in comparison to playing through Sun and Moon already, I don't think I have the same enthusiasm for it as you do. Yes, there are additional story elements, but where I'm at so far, there's not a ton. It hasn't added up to anything extra. They basically helped flesh out and support some stuff.
Well, no, but what you're basically at the point where it deviates a lot.
Okay, so I am looking forward to that. Probably the biggest thing, though, and this I think is where hopefully Chris will get the most enjoyment out of it, is as far as difficulty goes, they definitely up that.
Oh, for sure.
At the beginning of each island is where I feel it the most. Yep. And if all of my Pokemon didn't count as traded Pokemon, so I'm getting that XP boost, and if I wasn't using the XP share, my God, I would be in fucking trouble.
Well, and the thing is like a lot of those Rotom powers, I feel like that's the out that they gave. Where if you're struggling, you've got the Rotom powers, but
which I haven't used any.
Haven't used, because I was like, those are going to be way valuable at endgame.
So Chris, I'd actually, if you might try and take some time this week to play through a little bit more so that we can check in with you on the next show. I'd be interesting to know what you think of the difficulty adjustment, since you said you're turning off the XP share, and obviously you don't have any traded Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm also not going to be using any of the Rotom boosts or anything like that.
He even goes so far as not to use the refresh, because apparently real trainers starve their pets of both food and love.
I don't use refresh either.
Yeah, it's got to be legit, like Gen 1...
Gen 1 only.
Gen 1 mechanics.
Okay, that means don't use any of the ride Pokemon, because those weren't in Gen 1. You gotta go
that's bullshit.
Go find yourself a bicycle.
Those are
Find a bicycle.
You need to have one useless Pokemon as your HM slave.
Okay, that's fair. Yep, you have to have one useless Pokemon.
All right. And I'm using TMs multiple times, because that just makes it fun. Come on.
One use TMs only.
See, that's not, yeah.
All right,
you know what?
Fine, no.
I would actually be interested for someone to come up with a set of rules, like as close to Gen 1 in Ultra Sun and Moon as you possibly can.
Call it Fatlock.
Fatlock.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because you're fat.
It rhymes with Matlock. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Well, yeah, I'm like, wait, who's Matlock?
I thought you were going with Nuzlocke.
Yeah, no, but it's exactly.
What's Matlock?
I don't know. I mean, it's an old TV show where.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You just pulled a juxta. You did a juxta.
I just juxted you guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel dirty.
No, call it Fatlock rules.
I feel turned on though.
Do any of you guys even know the origin of the term Nuzlocke?
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
It's the name of the guy that made the run, right? No.
Nope.
Does it have anything to do? Because there's a Pokemon called Nuzlocke, isn't there?
Nope. Well,
it's like the first syllable. What was
it's Nuzleaf.
Yeah, Nuzleaf. And he named the run or the thing after Nuzleaf, right?
Okay, so what it was a Pokemon webcomic.
Yeah.
And in the webcomic, the guy made these specific rules for his run of Pokemon, like,
oh my God.
If the Pokemon dies, then it's dead forever.
Because he was doing a comic based on his adventure?
Exactly.
Oh my God, I need to go read that now.
And really so, no, it's not great.
I mean, it's pretty good.
It's okay.
If it's at least as good as like the material that came out of the Twitch Plays Pokemon.
It's not.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
It just stuck around as a meme. Mm-hmm. But what Nuzlocke was a Nuzleaf that had the face of Locke from Lost. The bald guy.
That's why I don't
The
remember.
bald guy from Lost.
Yep.
He actually he went to CMU. That actor went to CMU. Did you know that?
That I did not know. I
cannot think of his fucking name right now.
I know the guy you're talking about. He's
the bald guy from Lost. So yeah, that's basically the origin of the term Nuzlocke.
Okay.
Is that webcomic. which is really weird. I tracked down like a YouTube video that explained the origin of Nuzlocke, because I legit, like, I've heard that term thrown around so goddamn much that I was like, I need to figure out what this means before I say it out loud
and get it wrong. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, between. And I think I do understand people's hesitation that just bought Sun and Moon, that are like ultra Sun and Moon, like really like that quickly. And I will give you this, that it does, you know, the story does not deviate so much that you're like, oh man, they really did something different.
Yeah.
But it is different enough that if you played the first version and you are hankering for another Pokemon game, it'll scratch that itch big time. And all of the things that I was excited about, the way that it changes the VGC meta, you know, some of it only added 3 or 4 total new Pokemon.
4, I think, yeah.
Okay, well, you say only, but this is a Pokemon first in terms of, like, the second game of a generation
outside
adding Pokemon.
Outside of special event
So,
Pokemon.
That is very true.
I wouldn't say only.
That is very true.
I'm actually really impressed with that aspect of Sun and Moon Ultra.
The fact that they
actually went that mile.
Went that far.
Well,
yeah.
too bad 2 of them are super unimaginative.
They are. Well, like the designs of them suck.
I don't even know what they look like. What are they?
Stakataka is just like
a brick wall.
A brick box with legs.
Yeah.
Blacephalon is the New Year's ball on like a clown's match body.
Yeah, it looks like a...
Poipole and Nagalanda.
These fucking names are awful.
Oh, they're
Poipole?
the worst.
Poipole, really?
They're the worst. But, I mean, we also did get the shiny versions of the Ultra Beasts, which are pretty cool.
Buzzwole? Dude, I need a shiny Buzzwole.
You want one? I have one.
Do we? Is it legit?
No, of course not.
I don't want it then.
Of course not. Why would I have a legit Buzzwole that I would offer to trade you?
I don't know.
It's like, it's an Oslov version.
He looks so cool, though.
You wouldn't want an Buzzwole?
An Oswald, if you will.
Oswald?
I just end up putting him in my fake shiny box in the bank.
That's where all of mine go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll whip them out if someone wants to have a shiny battle, but
like that's all trading is. I like deny all trade requests now because all they want to do is like show off their shinies.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh
so yeah, no, I liked the couple of new Ultra Beasts.
I like the Nagadel. Nagadel?
The evolved form of Poipole.
Yeah. That thing, I mean, it doesn't look cool, but I like that it's a poison dragon.
Yeah, I think that Poipole and its evolved version are the only ones that
are okay.
Are okay, yeah. And actually, the reason that I like Poipole is they kind of went with the usual Celebi tiny thingy sort of, but they mixed it up a little bit more for once. Right. I'm actually...
Yeah, I want to see what your reaction to the Z form of Necrozma is.
Oh boy. I'd like to really get to the post game in this because that's what I've been hearing the most about. And I haven't read a whole lot about exactly how you do it, but basically what I do know is like that you slingshot yourself through like the ultra wormholes.
Oh yeah. You're right at that point.
Yeah.
If you just got the flute, all you've got to do is take it to take it to the top of the mountain, and then now you're basically at that part.
Okay, because people are saying that basically the further quote unquote you sling yourself, the more chances you have that way of encountering shiny Pokemon. Now it's completely random what you encounter, but just that whole sort of like dynamic and that whole sort of thing I'm really curious to get my hands on.
The way that they did the legendaries in the wormhole, actually, there's like a mini game attached to it. It's smart. It is very, very smart what they did. And way better than what they did with Oris to have you go back and collect old legendaries. I'm less interested in it because I've gotten all my legendaries. I have like boxes of
extra legendaries.
Fakes. Yeah, not fakes, but I've got doubles. Like I do make sure to catch each of the legendaries.
Although
I've got legendaries from fucking Soul Silver and Heart Gold and Platinum and
everything. Why you should go and get them over again though is because how often do you go to the GTS and you want something but they want some stupid legendary for it.
That's true.
If you have, 5 or 6 of them, fine. I actually did it the other day to get, I don't even remember what I needed, but they wanted a Zekrom, and I happen to have 2 of them, so I'm like, take it then.
I've done that before. The problem is that most of the time when I'm like, oh, I have that, and then I go out, I go to the bank, I put it back in, and now it's gone.
Yep. I've had that happen before, too.
But yeah, the post game, I think is actually one of the most interesting aspects, because you don't just have the battle tree this time. You do still have the battle tree, which is great.
For once, I actually plan on, at least right now.
It's about fucking time.
Don't get your hopes up, because I could at any point just end up deciding, nah, fuck it. But as of right now, I do tend on trying to make a VGC team, doing the battle tree team. Battling with you a little bit.
All right, cool. Yep. So the battle tree is still there, and that I actually got a lot of value out of. And BP you use for not just the stuff at the what is it? The
battle tree.
Not just the battle tree, but the
battle royale.
Battle royale. That's what it was.
The BP, the beach points, right?
Well, now you use them. Now you can do the Mantine surf to get them. And you use them for the move tutors that are kind of sprinkled around.
Yeah, okay.
So the move tutor at the battle tree had some of the best moves. Like some of the stuff that are can be a pain in the dick,
like Leech Life
or Outrage. Outrage is out there too. So
Leech Life.
I don't think Leech Life is.
That's a terrible move.
Is it?
No, it's a great move. Now.
I mean, yeah. If
it's 80 power bug move, they super buffed it in Moon. And
wow.
Oh yeah.
No. Leech,
it's legit now,
dude. Leech Life and it's physical too, because it's basically
physical.
It's basically like Giga Drain. It's like a physical Giga Drain
for bugs.
Yeah,
which is nuts.
That's fucking bananas. If I could use that on Kabutops, I would in a heartbeat.
Dude, it's so good.
But actually, one of the new moves that Kabutops now gets access to because of move tutors is Liquidation, which is five more physical water type move, which is awesome. That's great.
Question: when you give like PP maxes or PP ups to Pokemon, does that transfer into Battle Tree as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the trade-off for pumping up BP is that it takes your overall EV allocation down by 1.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
No.
I think PP has some kind of impact on either on your EV rating.
Nope. It's
Are you sure?
You can only use it 3 times per move, but yeah, that's just
3 free moves.
Yeah. It's
really
just another step in making the Pokemon the best.
Because thanks to those lottery places, I have a lot of PP ups.
Dude, I have a lot of PP ups and PP maxes too.
Yep.
I could have sworn that there was a trade-off.
Nope.
Maybe we should double check that.
There's very, very edge cases where you don't want the highest PP it could possibly be, but that's about it.
I'm going to have to do some reading on that. All right, well, that's going to be it for Final Encountercast today, guys. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Pokemon Encountercast. Who cares, man? We've got 9 more episodes of this show to do.
Till it's dunzo.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
Yeah, that's it for today. Thanks, Ryoku, for calling. Appreciate it.
And fuck everybody else who didn't call.
Yeah, the rest of y'all.
Everyone who is so upset about the Patreon stuff but didn't call in
seriously, like, that's the thing is that all right, so I guess if you're
so I'm gonna just say this comment about the Patreon stuff, to subscribe to someone for $1, it's gonna cost you something like $1.48,
right?
And then it gets multiplied times the number of Patreons that you're subscribed to. But my question is, why wouldn't Patreon just take all those 10 donations and lump them up into one PayPal transaction, one credit card transaction, instead of doing it multiple times so they get hit multiple times with a fee? Because all Patreon charges get charged at the start of the month, right?
I
assume so.
I think they changed that so that you can
change.
I don't fucking know, man.
I mean, as far as I can tell, that's how it is for our Patreon, but maybe it's different from other people.
Maybe. I don't know. Robbie, before we get out of here, do you want to tell people about your new show?
Oh, yeah, sure. So just the other day on Thursday, following the OWL preseason, Norris and I popped over at twitch.tv/checkpoint radio. And we don't have the scheduling down 100% right now because, we're going to do it on Thursdays, but because of the way that the OWL matches fall, we still got a little bit of a logistics to do here, but we're looking at doing it probably twice a month. The show is called Low Team Damage and is going to be dedicated to talking about Overwatch. we know that we're not professional casters or professional analysts of any form here. So if you're looking for the same level of stuff that you get from Doa or Monte Cristo or Mr. X or Uber, you're not going to get that stuff, right? But if you want to hang out with a couple of guys who like Overwatch, talk about Overwatch, then by all means, come and hang out with us on Thursdays. All you have to do is head on over to twitch.tv/checkpointradio, hit that follow, and make sure that notifications are on, and you'll get notified both when we go live and, of course, when Checkpoint goes live. And we will be putting that out on the Checkpoint RSS feed for podcasts as well.
I see. That's the question that I'm waiting on
Kevin
our producer, Kevin, to get back to me to.
Well, we do plan on podcasting it somehow at some point, and you can of course find it at the Checkpoint Radio YouTube page.
Right. And speaking of the YouTube page, this is awesome because Skuro forgot to clip out the podcast this week for Checkpoint Radio. So now I've got to find it on the fucking replay. Stupid asshole. All right, so we're gonna get the Checkpoint Radio podcast replay all set up here. But before we go, I did want to play the intro for Low Team Damage. So here it is. This is for Kahlo and Norris's new show, Low Team Damage.
Checkpoint Radio presents an Overwatch talk show for all tiers of play. Robbie Landis.
It's a perfect day for some mayhem.
Norris Howard.
So predictable.
This is Low Team Damage.
How'd I do?
First try, too.
Yeah,
first try.
That was definitely like sort of last minute. Like I kind of I kind of came up with that like last night.
Yeah, and I mean we weren't expecting a whole lot of stuff, because we kind of started it sort of abruptly. So yeah, we weren't expecting anything to really come together super quick. But no, you did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
Good job.
Appreciate it. All right, well that's going to be it for today. I appreciate everyone who joined us. Also, just shout out to Ryoko for calling in. We want to hear from you, especially if you feel some kind of way about Patreon. We want to talk about it. So tune in next week, twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio starting at 1 p.m. and add your voice to that conversation. All right, I want to thank my crew. Even though he's not here anymore, Escalia is out there in spirit doing our news stories. So thank you for that. Also, Nika not able to join us this week due to going to a convention, but shout out to Nika. And of course, the two people who did show up, Fat and Robbie. My name's Nate. Have a good one. Final Encountercast is a production of FinalEncountercast.com, Limit Break Radio, and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Nate Bender, Callie Sloan, and Kooky Persona. This show is made possible by the generous Patreon donors of the podcast Limit Break Radio. Opening music provided by Keyboard Kid. More info and music can be found at keyboardkid206.bandcamp.com. Closing music provided by Sobsy. For more info, visit sobsy.bandcamp.com. Final Encountercast and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.